जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा। जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय गौरा हरि। Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol. Jai Gaur Premanande. शहरनाम संकीर्तन की समेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जगत गुरु शिल प्रपाद की ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 85, chapter entitled Lord Krishna instructs Vasudeva and retrieves Devaki's sons. So there are 3 verses. So we'll read the first 2 and then recite the third one. Shri Badarayana Athaikatmajau Prapto Krita Padabhivandano Vasudevo Bhivandhaya Pritya Sankarshanachyuto. Translation. Sri Radharayana said, one day the 2 sons of Vasudeva, Sankarshan and Achyuta, came to pay him respects, bowing down at his feet. Vasudeva greeted them with great affection and spoke to them. Text 2. Muninam savacha shrutva putrayor dhama suchakam tadviryer jata vishrambha paribhashyabhya bhashata. Having heard the great sage's words concerning the power of his 2 sons, and having seen their valorous deeds, Vasudeva became convinced of their divinity. Thus, addressing them by name, he spoke to them as follows. And the third one, we'll repeat together. Krishna Krishna Mahayogi Sankarshana Shanatana Jane Vamasya Yat Sakshat Pradhana Purusha Uparo. Krishna Krishna Mahayogi Sankarshana Sanatana Jane Vamasya Yat Sakshat Pradhana Purusha Uparo. Krishna Krishna Mahayogi Sankarshana Sanatana Jane Vamasya Yat Sakshat Pradhana Purusha Uparo. Word meaning, translation, purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Ave Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. Krishna Krishna, O Krishna Krishna, Mahayogin, O greatest yogi, Sankarshan, O Balaram, Sanatan, eternal, Jani, I know, Vam, you too, Asya, of this universe, Yat, which, Sakshat, directly, Pradhana, the creative principle of nature, Purusho, and the creating personality of Godhead, Paro, supreme. Translation. Vasudev said, O Krishna, Krishna, best of yogis, O eternal Sankarshan, I know that you too are personally the source of universal creation and the ingredients of creation as well. Purport. As taught in the Sankhya doctrine of Lord Kapila Dev, Pradhan is the creative energy of the Purusha, the Supreme Person. Thus, of these two principles, the Pradhan is the predominated energy, female, incapable of independent action, while the Purusha is absolutely independent, primeval creator and enjoyer. Neither Krishna nor his brother Balaram belong to the category of subordinate energy. Rather, both of them together are the original Purusha, who is always joined by his manifold potencies of pleasure, knowledge, and creative emanation. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सपदं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभ पावने वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयति Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the devotees, especially His Grace Govind Ghosh Prabhu, Purushottam Nitai Prabhu, and Amar Kishore Prabhu, and all the other Vaishnavas, so that I can speak something for my purification and something for the glorification of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So this is a new chapter beginning. We saw in the last chapter the events that happened in the holy pilgrimage of Kurukshetra. Initially, we saw Draupadi met the queens of Lord Krishna, and they narrated how Krishna captured them and Krishna married them uh, with different, sometimes kidnapping them like Rukmini, sometime in the Swayamvar, Krishna winning their hands. So like this, all the queens, the principal queens described how Krishna married them to Draupadi, and uh, then all the Hastinapur Vasis and Yadavas and Brajvasis, they came there in the place of Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse, and then they took bath and they did all the rituals. And after that, the great sages like Narada, Vyasadev, Vishwamitra, Ashita, Devala, all of these great sages in great number appeared in this place of Kurukshetra. And Krishna, acting like an ordinary person, like an ordinary king, gave all respects and honor to these great sages and then glorified in great detail. And one of the glorification that Krishna did, that our coming to this holy place of Kurukshetra has become successful by your darshan. So this is how Krishna honors the great sages. And the sages, for a time being, they got completely bewildered. Uh, they could not understand how Krishna is acting through his illusory energy. And Krishna is acting merely as a human being to instruct the people in general. And then the sages in turn glorify Lord Krishna and establishes his the eternal truth regarding Lord Krishna. And when the sages was about to depart, Vasudev, Krishna's father, uh, approached the sages and asked question that how we can come out of this material bondage. And the sages replied that by worshipping Lord, Supreme Lord, through the performance of sacrifices, yajna, we can come out of this karmic fruitive bondage of fruitive activity. And then Vasudev requests these sages to become priest for the sacrifice. And he makes an elaborate arrangement of the paraphernalia required for the sacrifice. And once the sacrifice was successfully performed, he offered valuable gifts, jewelry, and to this priest and all the other uh, associates. And he fed everyone sumptuously. So, no sacrifice is complete without the distribution of prasadam. And then at the end, Vasudev and Nand Maharaj exchange their deep friendship and their deep affection for each other. And so they spent almost around 3 months in the place of Kurukshetra, sharing their deep affectionate relationship. And at last, Nanda Maharaj left for Mathura, though he was Nanda Maharaj and other Brajavasis was completely unwilling, but because Krishna assured that he will come back, so with that hope, Nanda Maharaj left Nanda Maharaj and other Brajavasis, and after that, Yadavas also returned back to Dwarka. So now all of them, the Yadavas have returned back to Dwarka. So this pastime that is happening in this chapter is happening in Dwarka. So, so in the Kurukshetra we saw that when the sages were glorifying Lord Krishna, Vasudeva also heard that glorification. And Vasudeva was completely became aware of the divinity of Lord Krishna. That this Krishna and Balaram are none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are the source of all creation. And uh, they are the enjoyer, the proprietor, and the controller. And not only they heard, he heard from the sages, but also many events that happened during his stay in Mathura and Dwaraka that led to believe that Krishna and Balaram are Supreme Personality of Godhead. We see that Krishna killed Kamsa and other demons in Mathura, and while being in Dwarka, Krishna performed such wonderful acts which led uh, to believe these words of the sages to be true. And uh, Vasudev, though he is the father of Lord Krishna, but his Vatsalya mood is now affected by this conception of Lord to be the supreme. And in the future verses in this chapter, we'll see that how Krishna speaks and acts in such a way that their conception of Vatsalya is again restored back. So that in the future verses, we'll see that. But as a sadhaka, for us, it is very important that we have this understanding very deeply. We have conviction about these facts. That will help us advance in our Krishna consciousness. It is said that before relishing Krishna's sweetness, we have to understand Krishna's greatness. Otherwise, uh, Krishna's sweetness, Krishna's sweet pastimes, we may take it as cheaply. But when we understand how Krishna is so great, how Krishna is source of everything, how Krishna is source of all creation, how he is a supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, supreme proprietor, and he is the master and everyone is servant. These deep philosophical truths has to be understood properly, has to be understood with a deep conviction. Just like one time Srila Prabhupada, when meeting his leaders of Krishna consciousness movement, he asked his disciples, do you believe that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? And when Prabhupada asked, he could see your innermost chamber of your heart and could understand what is your conviction. So though many times we speak that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but how much conviction we have? So that we need to see. So that is why Shastras regularly described about Krishna's greatness, so that we are completely aware that about whom we are hearing, about whom we are dealing. That is why, so that we don't take his pastime cheaply, right? We see Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. He spoke on the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam for 3 months in Dhaka, in Bangladesh. So, so people came to hear from him the 10th canto, the sweet pastimes of Lord Krishna, the sweet leelas of Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwaraka. But for completely 3 months, he was only describing in great length, in great detail, the first words of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadhyasya Tonvayat Itaratas Charthesu Avigyasvarat. So that these philosophical truths are deeply ingrained in our system, right? So these words, the current verse gives us an opportunity to understand these philosophical truths. So Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrit says that Siddhanta Baliya Chitte na karaho alas. Iha lage chitte sudrira manas. That we should not be lazy to understand this Siddhanta. The Sahajiyas, the materialistic devotees, they just want to hear Ras Leela. They just want to hear Krishna's dealing with the gopis. Because for them it is like dealings between ordinary man and woman. Right? But for a devotee, for a sadhaka, as the Srishti Lila, the pastimes of Lord's creation is as important as Lord's Rasa Lila. That is why our acharyas in great length have given commentaries on these aspects of Lord's creation and how the whole creation happened. In the second canto and third canto, we see in great length, Srimad Bhagavatam explains the process of creation. So, uh, so though it is very difficult to understand, but we should give our effort to understand this fact. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 4th chapter, 2nd verse, he says, the neophyte devotee, instead of jumping at once to the platform of transcendental pastimes presented by the internal energy of the Lord, may know how great the Supreme Lord is by inquiring about the process of his creative energy. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita also, descriptions of the creative energy of the Lord's hand in it are explained. And the author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita has warned the neophyte devotees to be seriously on guard against the pitfall of neglecting knowledge about Krishna in regard to how great he is. So we have to know how Krishna is so great. So, and Bhagavad Gita is the literature where Krishna talks about himself. Krishna tells that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matya Sarvam Pravartate. That everything emanates from me. The spiritual world, the material world, both emanates from me. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matya Sarvam Pravartate. And I am the creator of everything. And everything rests upon me. And Lord is completely aloof from his creation. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes many verses from different Upanishads and different Puranas to illustrate this fact even more strongly. So he quotes the Maha Upanishad, Eko vai Narayana asinna Brahma neshano napu nagani somo neme dau aprithvi na nakshatrani na surya. In the beginning of creation, there was only the Supreme Personality of Narayan. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven and earth, no stars in the sky, no sun. Also in the Baraha Purana it is said that Narayana Paro Deva Tasmat Jatas Chaturmukha Tasmat Rudro Avavad Deva Sacha Sarva Gyatam Gata. Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, from whom Shiva was born. So not only the material elements come from Lord, but even the great demigod like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma also comes from him. And in this same verse it is said that Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Samanvita. And the wise who knows this perfectly can worship Lord with his full heart. So this verse tells that to the degree we have conviction about this fact, to that degree we can worship the Lord wholeheartedly, with full energy. Otherwise there is always be confusion that there is someone more greater than Lord, or there is some other personality whom we have to worship. So to the degree we develop conviction on these philosophical truths, to that degree we can put our whole heart in worshipping Krishna. Shraddha sabde vishwas kaye sudrira nischay Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma kritahai. Then by performing Krishna bhakti, all the activities are done. All the debts are liquidated by performance of Krishna bhakti. So that is why these philosophical truths we have to get conviction, and that is why we need to regularly hear about them. And here in this verse, it is said that this Krishna and Balaram, this personality of Godhead, they are the source of all universal creation and the elements of creation. So, in the third canto, describes in the Kapil Muni describes to his mother Devahuti about Pradhana. He describes in great length, and in that he describes about the Pradhana, which is the total material ingredient which is unmanifested. And this contain 24 elements, among which there are 5 gross elements: the earth, water, fire, air, ether. There are 5 sense objects, Sabda, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha, and there are 10 senses, 5 working senses and 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and there is mind, intelligence, and false ego, and there is chitta or contaminated consciousness. So these 24 elements are consist within this pradhana, and this pradhana is the unmanifested. This is nitya because this is always there, and its manifestation is temporary. So the material energy is eternal, but its manifestation and unmanifestation is temporary. And I was just reading the detail about this creation, which is very, for me, is very difficult to understand. But I got something, uh, some details from the Subodhini. So it explains that uh, when this pradhana is being agitated by Lord's glance, this the glance of Mahavishnu, then it gets agitated, and from that it comes Mahat Tattva, which is the agitated total material energy, but it is still undifferentiated. There is no variety of manifestation. But from that Mahat Tattva, Lord acts through the time factor, which which uh, which further creates Jai Shnitai Gauranga Bhagavan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. And from this Mahat Tattva, uh, in further creation comes Ahankar, which is predominantly in Tamas. And this Ahankar, acting with the three modes, creates three types of Shakti. This Ahankar, when interacts with goodness, it produces the Jnana Shakti, which further produces the mind and the 10 sense devatas. So this is interaction with the goodness produces Jnana Shakti, and from which the further uh, it further produces to mind and 10 sense devatas. And from passion, when it interacts with passion, uh, the Kriya Shakti generates. And from this Kriya Shakti comes prana, the 10 senses, and the intelligence. And when this ahankara it interacts ignorance, it creates dravya Shakti, which creates 5 sense objects and 5 elements. So if we analyze this, all the 24 elements, if we go back, so we can see this, if we detail study, we'll see, and if we go back, uh, see that Lord is the source of all these 24 elements. And Lord is the source of all these elements. So sometimes we feel that it's very complicated, and it is very difficult to understand. But I was just thinking that how this matters to us, how this knowledge of these elements, how it can help us. So what came in my mind that if we can put this contemplation that whatever we have, whatever whatever talents we have, whatever skills we have, whatever knowledge we have, or whatever beauty we have, if we analyze all of these are coming from these 24 elements only, right? All of these are products of combination of either of these 24 elements. So if we carefully analyze that, everything we have is belongs to Lord Krishna. Everything, all the energy, all the resources, all the talents, all the skills, all the knowledge, whatever we have belongs to Lord Krishna. So then it comes, if it all belongs to Lord Krishna, then what I should do with them? I have given these elements as a gift, as Srimad Bhagavatam says that the living entities are given different bodies according to his past karma, and there are 84 lakh species. But all these bodies, they are like rented property for the soul. But originally the body and the associated elements of the body belongs to Lord, right? So when the jiva understand this fact, and to the degree he understand this fact, to that degree he can become detached. Otherwise, in ignorance, the jivatma feels that this body belongs to me. This talents, this abilities, this power belongs to me, and that causes entanglement. So, Kapil Muni, when speaking to Devahuti in the beginning, he spoke that this knowledge of Sankhya, when we understand in great detail, that can bring detachment. So, understanding of these 24 elements and how it comes from Supreme Lord Himself and it does not belong to us, this knowledge can bring detachment. But when one is ignorant about this fact, then he considers all this to be mine. He considers this body to be himself, and he considers the uh, things related to this body to be mine. And this causes entanglement. And from the scriptures, we see that the demoniac people, this is the nature of the demoniac people, that they consider that they are the proprietor, they are the controller, they are the enjoyer, because they do not understand this fact. And we see that demons like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu, they wanted to enjoy the Lord's property. And what happened? That just like Ravana kidnapped Sita, Mother Sita, not understanding that Mother Sita is a property of Lord Ram. Ravana was feeling that everything belongs to me. So this lady, this beautiful lady also belongs to me. And she is object for my enjoyment. She should give enjoyment to me. But that same Sita who he thought that should give enjoyment became the cause of his destruction. So when these material elements one considers to belonging to oneself and one tries to enjoy them, it becomes the cause of his destruction. We see in the case of Hiranyakashipu also. Hiranyakashipu, he conquered the three worlds. All the great demigods, all the great sages were bowing down to him. But because Prahlad Maharaj, his son, was worshipping Lord Vishnu, he was totally frustrated. So, Hiranyakashipu, though he had all the material elements in his control, but because he understood, he does not understood that does not understand that these material elements belongs to Lord Vishnu. And when Prahlad Maharaj, when who was worshipping Lord Vishnu, engage all this, uh, engage all his energy in worshipping him, he became totally frustrated, and he wanted to destroy Prahlad Maharaj. But because Prahlad Maharaj was protected by Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu could not harm him. So Hiranyakashipu, though he had all the controllership, all the proprietorship, but because he did not consider that this belongs to Lord, at the end he was completely destroyed by Narsimha Dev. So time again we see that unless we acknowledge this, unless we deeply understand this fact that all these material elements, all this power belongs to Supreme Lord, then it will become cause of our entanglement. And the modern society, modern modern civilization is completely makes us forget of this fact. It makes us feel that we are the doer, we are the controller, we are the enjoyer, we are the proprietor. And that is how it brings destruction. We see the example of Titanic. Titanic, the quote was given that this is a ship which even God cannot sink. So the Titanic was made to be a very prestigious ship, and all the royal people, those were very wealthy. mm, They they mm, they thought that because we belong to the royal class and this ship belongs to the royal class, so we should board this ship, and this should be the historical ship. And they wanted to make it very beautiful. That is why they did not keep the rafts which could protect the which is used for protection of this the voyages. They kept it very minimal rafts so that the ship looks beautiful. Hmm? But later on, when the ship collapsed in the ocean, it became the cause of death of many people. So the materialistic people, they try to do something. Uh, they try to keep God out of the picture. They try to take complete charge of the material energy. But foolish they don't understand that this material energy is controlled by Supreme Lord. And to the degree the Lord allows the Jivatma to play till that time, he can play. Just like sometimes the child with his parents goes to the shore of the ocean and he makes uh, different formation. He makes different buildings and his own empire and his own house and bungalow and his state. But as soon as the waves of the ocean comes, the whole the whole creation, the temporary creation, the which is uh, which is done by such hard work by the child, is washed away by the waves of the water. So similarly, the materialistic people uh, forgetting that Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. They create, they create their own empire. They create their own state. They create their own career. But by the waves of time, all these things are destroyed. So intelligent devotee understand this fact, and intelligent devotee uses all his energy and talents for the service of Lord. We see in the past times, and first of all, he acknowledges this fact, right? We see in the past times of Arjuna. Arjuna, we see in battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Arjuna and the Pandavas, though it is said that the Kaurava army was like Timingla fishes, which can devour the greatest of the warriors. But because by Krishna's mercy, they could win over the enemies of Kaurava, which consist of Bhishma, Drona, the big generals. But by Krishna's mercy, the Pandavas could win over them. But the same Pandav, same Arjuna, when after the Kurukshetra war, when he was trying to protect the wives of Lord Krishna, he could not. Right? A cowherd man came and defeated Arjuna and took away the wives of Krishna. From scriptural point of view, understand that cowherd man is none other than Lord Krishna himself. But Arjuna, while reflecting on this pastime, he was thinking that I had the same Gandiva bow that I had during the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And I had this Gandhi Baba now also, but I could not protect even these wives of Krishna from this uh, cowherd man who is not so strength, who is not having so much strength. So then Arjuna could understand that it is actually this power was bestowed by Lord Krishna himself. So this power belongs to Lord Krishna. And the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna bestowed that power, because of which I could win over the army of Kauravas. So Arjuna could acknowledge that this power through which I defeated the Kauravas, it does not belong to me. It belongs to Lord Krishna. And remembering that, Arjuna was feeling separation from Lord Krishna. So the great devotee first of all acknowledges that these are the powers we have are borrowed plumes. These are gifts of Krishna, and it can be taken away at any time. So till the time we have these gifts given by Krishna, we should use them in Krishna's service. And by using them in Krishna's service, uh, that becomes cause of our disentanglement. That becomes the cause of our liberation. So that is why Shastras enjoin that, and Acharyas also tell that whatever we have, we should use it in Krishna's service. Just like Bhakti Vinod Thakur prays. Manas deho geho jo kichu mor arpilu tua pade nanda kishore. Whatever I have, this home, this house, this family members, this wealth, this uh, family members, this resources, and this manasa, this mind. hmm, Sometimes we are able to give the our resources or the physical elements, but we are not able to give our mind and intelligence. So, but gradually as we advance in bhakti, we have to give everything for Krishna's service. Praner arther dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. We have to give up everything. Prana, artha, dhiya, vacha. So that is the practice of a sadhaka, that he can give everything, whatever talents he have, whatever resources he have, whatever power he has, whatever influence he has, he uses everything for Krishna's service. He uses each and every ounce of his energy for Krishna's service. And we see Srila Prabhupada disciples, they have uh, they have um, exemplified this fact. Just like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada completely gave his all energy for preaching Krishna consciousness. He was so conscious of everything. He was so conscious about Krishna's energy. Just like in Mayapur, he was going in a morning walk and he saw that water is coming out from tap and the water is getting wasted. So this is a very simple phenomena which we commonly miss out. But Srila Prabhupada, being great devotee, being great lover of Krishna, he could see everything as Krishna's energy. So he saw that this energy of Krishna is getting wasted, which should be properly utilized. So this is the nature of great souls, that wherever they see Krishna, or they see Krishna's how Krishna's energies are working. So that is how they engage everything in Krishna's service. So like Srila Prabhupada engage everything, Srila Prabhupada engage his literary talent by writing Srimad Bhagavatam, such wonderful description, Srimad Bhagavatam commentary, and he encouraged all his managerial power to manage this whole Krishna consciousness movement, and he's invested his love towards all his disciples. So Srila Prabhupada exemplified using everything for Krishna's service, and Srila Prabhupada was ready to use his renunciation, right? Just like one time there was one disciple showed Srila Prabhupada the photo that uh, one great sadhu is denying a lot of money. There's lot of Lakshmi is there, and he is having a picture that he is going away from the money. And Srila Prabhupada said that bring all the money and I will embrace it and take a picture and propagate it. So great devotees, because they are deeply convinced of this fact that all these material elements, whatever these products of these 24 material elements, all this belongs to Krishna, and all of them can be utilized in Krishna's service. And the great devotee, because he is advanced, he understands how it can be utilized. So by following the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada disciples also engage their all energy in Krishna's service. We see the example of Jayanand Prabhu. Jayanand Prabhu, he knew car driving. So though he was a mechanical engineer, but he was expert in driving. So he engaged driving, and he was bringing funds for the temple. That time temple did not have funds, so he did driving to uh, bring funds for the temple, and he engaged in cleaning, and he was engaged in all kinds of menial service. He was engaged in making the cart. And Jayanand Prabhu, till his last breath, he got cancer, but till the time last breath, like he was given some $5,000 for his health treatment by his relatives. But he was thinking, why to use and why to waste this Lakshmi for Krishna service? I should use it for preaching Krishna consciousness. And he gave it to Srila Prabhupada for printing of his books. So the great devotees uses everything for Krishna service, everything for giving Krishna consciousness to others, and that by seeing their example, by seeing how they utilize everything for Krishna service, that that should be our goal also. That whatever we have, whatever mm, first of all acknowledging that this belongs to Krishna, this does not belong to me, and then utilizing them to whatever degree we can, and not utilizing them for our own sense gratification, not utilizing them for our egoistic aggrandizement, egoistic pursuits. Because to the degree we utilize them for our egoistic pursuit, to that degree it will become cause of our bondage. To that degree it will become cause of our entanglement. To that degree it will become cause of our sufferings. But to the degree we utilize it in Krishna's service, we utilize in the service of his devotees, utilize in propagating Krishna consciousness, to that degree it will bring joy to our hearts, and it will bring great good fortune for all others. So, and this is what we can learn, that acknowledging uh, this fact, and by regularly reading Shastra, by regularly associating with Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand this greatness and we understand these great philosophical truths. And then, when these truths are deeply ingrained in our system, then when we read Krishna's sweet pastimes, then it will become very relishable. It will become very charming that that same great personality is performing such sweet pastimes. Then, because we have practiced to give up and give everything for Krishna's service, so then by hearing those sweet pastimes which are so enchanting, we can give our mind and heart also to Krishna. So that is how a sadhaka should prepare his life. Okay. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I was just feeling very nervous during this preparation, because this was very philosophical. But at the last moment, Amar Kishore Prabhu came and helped me. So I was just feeling so fortunate that to have devotee association uh, who are helping us to recognize and these facts, and helping us to understand these philosophical truths and apply them practically in our life. So we have the guidance of seniors, we have the guidance of great source. So, by which we can actually utilize this deep philosophical truths in very practical way in our life. So, I am feeling great fortunate to have all of your association to please bless me so that I can apply what I spoke and uh, be benefited in my life. Uh, Please forgive for any offenses, anything spoken beyond my realization. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।